So I noticed this funny thing the last couple of times I've been recording, and now I'm going to be paying really close attention to the time which is displayed in the bottom of the screen here. I'm going to be paying really close attention to that because of this thing that I noticed. So the last few lots of videos that I did, I seem to do them in pairs. I don't know, it's to keep them short, although the last one wasn't really short. I seem to do them in pairs. I do them in the same day, even at the same time, even hit stop, record, and then start to do the next one. The in perpetuity, the one that I just did, or it's actually, I've given it a different title, but on the screen it says in perpetuity. That's a certain length, and what I've noticed is when I make the two videos together, they seem to be very close to the same length. I was looking the other day, and a couple of them within a couple of seconds or within 15 seconds of one another. So if I made a 3-minute video, I would make a 2-minute 58 video or a 3-minute 10 video. And I don't know why that is. It's just maybe something to do with the way my thoughts are. So I made a close to 8-minute video, and then the last one that I did that's actually uploading now, I made an 8-minute video. I started ranting about climate change and humans being fucking idiots. So I just abandoned that one. It's still in the computer. It's still technically in the can, but I just abandoned that one. And then I did another video about something else, and it turned out to be about exactly the same length. So then I'm saying, like, random. Is it random that each video, the videos match? Is it a coinky dink that they match? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how any of this works. I'm not even really sure how the human brain functions the way that it does, and how the human race has been able to do the things that they've been able to do throughout history, which is really short, as I mentioned just before, with the muddled way that things seem to work. And I think a lot of the muddleness that we suffer from now, I know muddleness probably isn't a word, but I don't care. I make words up all the time. But the way the human race is muddled now, there isn't the pressure that there used to be, not in the West. So even though, I don't really have a car, there is public transport. I could probably bum a ride from someone. I could probably borrow a car from my boss, even though I don't like really borrowing things, again, mentioned in the previous video. There's ways out of all the problems in my life. There's ways out of it. If like in a real bad financial way, I can file bankruptcy. I mean, I can just vanish into the ether somewhere. So even though people go, you can find you on the internet. No, you ditch your phone, move into a country town. No one's finding you. If you don't want to be found, you cannot be found. I mean, at the end of the day, get a passport, find enough money, go to a foreign country, go move to Southeast Asia, some random middle-aged Aussie in Southeast Asia. No one's going to bat an eyelid at it. I mean, if you're cleaning toilets, they might, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I could scrounge up 75, 80 cents and I could live like a king in some third world country somewhere. Not really my point. My point is, what is random and what isn't? And then what's the opposite of random? Is this a completely ordered universe? Or does entropy take effect in everything? And does the state of breaking down, does it then like converge? So it used to be a rocket that flew into space, and then it ceased being a rocket because it wasn't being powered anymore, but it's still drifting around the planet, part of the rubbish that humans leave everywhere. They even apparently leave it around the planet. Pretty sure there's some, there's old car bodies and golf balls and shit on the moon. Humans just leave stuff lying everywhere. But at some points, they're going to appear to be what they are, or they're going to be recognizable for what they are. So is that what happens when I make videos and they turn out to be the same sort of length? And see, looking again. It's only the third time I've looked, but looking as soon as I mentioned the time and the length. But technically, if I make this one the same length as the last one, this is manufactured. This is in no way random, because the second video was the one that got posted. The first video was the one that I went, oh no, stuff it, and I ditched it. So really, 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 really strange. Anyway, there's a lot of things that happen in life that are not necessarily good. And then there's a lot of things in life that are quite difficult to deal with, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the be-all, end-all. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to worry about it. My mate, his foot's fucked. He fell from somewhere higher than humans were ever designed to fall, and he tried to walk it off and he couldn't, and he's been having troubles ever since. And you can tell that it brings him down, but what can he do about it? He keeps, I was going to say, stepping forward, moving forward, but he doesn't really do that because his foot's fucked. But he just has to keep moving. He has to find ways to adapt and overcome. And he's got family and he's got support. So there's things that he might have used to have had to do that he might now have to do in a different way, or get someone to assist him to do it. But this is why humans are a village. This is why they need to be a village. This is why they need to be a community. We're not a rock. We're not an island. Regardless of, well, actually, that's actually what the Simon and Garfunkel song is, you know. He's singing about how he's a rock, he's an island, has no connections to anyone, but that's just not true. Sometimes I really feel that it would be good to be that way, but that's just not what happens sometimes. Anywho, some of these signs that you come across, so I was looking for something before on the interwebs, and I actually mentioned it in the last video, but then you get signs that people put up at places and it says unattended children will be given an energy drink and taught to swear. I think that's what I would do anyway. My nephew, I've taught him to say things like bifurcated in twain. My ex's daughter, whenever someone said a word that she didn't know or didn't understand, I'd ask her to I told her to ask what's the etymology of that idiom. The teachers didn't know what an idiom was. It didn't really matter that it wasn't right, that it wasn't in context, and that it wasn't really appropriate for the time. The teachers had no idea what an idiom was, no idea what etymology meant. So I thought it was funny. She thought it was funny. It doesn't really matter what. Well, she might not have thought it was funny, but, you know, it's a bit hard to tell. So here's something else. I'm old enough to remember when paper bags were being blamed for the destruction of trees and plastic bags were the solution. And now we've got these stupid paper bags again that you can't even carry anything in because they fall apart before you even basically get anything into the damn things. Anyway, tangent. And again, I wasn't deliberately keeping a track of time. Good English, Jeff. That's all I've really got to say about that. If you can't be good at it. Be excellent to each other. And apparently, a stitch in time saves 9.